Jeff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to teach you how to get into the back end of the system. And what I want you to do is learn how to add inventory and customize that particular component to work for you. And so what we're going to do is what I'll have you do is up at the top. I will send you a particular link. So just go ahead and click on that link that I send you. And the link should come up with this type of look. Then what I want you to do is add your username and password that I gave you. And you'll see this. This is actually the control panel of your content management system website. Very simple, really extremely easy to follow. What we're going to go through right now is I'm going to have you go to Components and then go down here to EXP Autos and just click on that. That brings up a whole nother control panel. Typically your components have their own control panels because a lot of times components are a little bit more advanced than what are called modules and other things that are part of the Joomla website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the areas in here. We may have to have two tutorials for you, but please go through them. I should be able to answer any questions in this. If not, please don't hesitate to email me and I'll help you. What you'll notice first is what I did, based on what you've told me that you sell. I went ahead and I created your categories. I made them very vague, so they could cover a wide range of different things that you would have there for sale at your location. And I really try to make it as easy as possible for you and for the consumer, because what I have learned over time is the easier the website is, the longer that potential customer will stay on your website. So if you want anything changed, just let me know, but I think you'll be okay with how I did this. As you can see, I made 4 different categories, which categories are, just think of it as the top level or the top of the tree, and we're going to work our way down from there. So these are the first things that have to be decided on in the system, really, before you do anything else. I did vehicles, trailers, tent campers, and boats. You can add another one if you want to. If you want to add like miscellaneous or something like that, you could do that by just clicking on this new button. And all you do is give it a name. And the access level is public. That's fine, because you're not giving anybody else access to actually be able to change anything. And then you can give it a description if you want in the what you see is what you get editor. And then over here, the fields that you can use, you can mark yes for any of them or no just by simply clicking on the yes or no radio box. And then you would hit save, and that would save that as a new category. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Once you've created the categories that you want, then you go to mark, which mark is actually make. It's just I think it's the European term for make. You go to mark, and so far I've added a few different ones in here. The only difference about what I do like about this and what I don't, there's 2 things. I love this system because what you can do is you can add your own make and models in there. The only difficult part is you have to start, I mean, it's very rudimentary. You have to add the makes and models yourself in there to populate it. Which really for you, your lot's probably not huge, so you're able to do this and it shouldn't be too cumbersome for you. I went ahead and added some of them. You can add some of the other makes that you know that you have on the lot. You go ahead and make it here. The only thing that you have to do is then add it to the category where they obviously appear. So as you can see, I added Pontiac, and it goes to vehicles, the vehicle category. Starcraft goes to the trailers. Now, I don't know if you want to put it into the tent trailers or whatever, but I tried to make it as easy as possible. So again, just by adding a new one, you click new, and it allows you to give it the make's name. And then here on the drop down, you select the category that it goes to. So when you add a new, let's say you add a new vehicle, the categories that you've entered into the system here, or the makes that you've added in here, will show up in that list. So you'll see what I mean when we go to add a whole vehicle. So then you would hit save, and then it would save that particular make. Now we're going to go to model. Of course, you have to have the make first before you can add the model. So once you've added all your makes, or if you're just doing this as you get a new piece of inventory in, you just go ahead and do it at that point. So as here, my car is a Vibe, so of course I went ahead and put a Vibe in there for you to see. But again, you just add new, ask for the model name, and then it will list the makes. So then you can match it up with the correct make. And you would hit save, and then it would appear in the list. In this list. And so, if you want to unpublish a particular model, you can do that just by clicking here. And that will unpublish that model. If for some reason you needed to. You probably won't need to, but I just wanted to show you that anytime you see those check marks, you can always unpublish something just by doing that. You don't have to delete it. You can just unpublish it. Country, you shouldn't have to worry about that. That's already taken care of. Unless you need to add another country. That's where you would. Cities, you shouldn't have to do that because it's just you using this particular system or this particular component. You can put cities down in case you wanted to allow others to be able to list on your site and they have an account and do so. Then you would want to have what city they were from. So you really don't need to worry about that. Condition, I already put some in there. If you want to rename them or delete them or add new ones in there, certainly feel free to do so. You know how you rate your inventory that comes in. So this is where you would do that. User typically will just be you and I will be the users since you aren't allowing other people to post on there. So that you shouldn't have to worry about. Color, you can go ahead and add all the colors that you're used to using when you're running any other type of ad. You can add them here. Same way again. Just click new and put the color name. Body type. Again, you can do the body types here for the campers as well as the vehicles. It will ask you again what category you want to put that body type into. So that's very easy. The drive, I've already added some. If you need to add more, again, you know how to do it now. Fuel, I did gas and diesel. I didn't think there was anything else I needed to put there, so just let me, you can do it or just let me know. Transmission, same thing. Currency, you won't have to worry about that. I took care of that. Equipment category, I did, and you will want to do this because I have standard features, and standard features are what are for the vehicles. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and change that and say standard vehicle features. And then there are standard trailer features. Obviously, if you have boats, go ahead and put boats in there as a standard feature or equipment category. And do it the same way we've done everything else. And then you get to equipment. And here's where, of course, you can add the equipment for each of those equipment categories. So when you're entering, let's say, a boat, and you've already created all the equipment for that category, all that equipment will show up as long as you've associated it with the boat equipment category. The vehicle equipment won't show up, the camper equipment won't show up, so it matches it up really nicely. It makes it easy. There are so many ones on here that it can become cumbersome for you to look at all of them. So these drop downs up here will also help you in being able to make it a little easier to see what you're working with. So obviously we haven't done any boat equipment yet, so it's not showing any. So once you would do that, only the boat equipment would show. So that makes it really easy for you and just being able to look at things. And you'll be able to do that once you're creating an ad as well. Payments and configuration, you should not need to get into either of those. It's all taken care of for you. Ad manager, this is where you can create an ad. You can create it in this section, and I'll show you how to do that in the next tutorial, as well as you'll be able to do it from your actual front end of the website, which it's very easy to do it that way as well, but I want to be able to show you both ways. But this is how you at least set up um, the gathering of the information that you're going to have and be able to utilize with this component. So hopefully this should help you. Again, my next tutorial will be on how to add a vehicle or a camper to the system.